Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back on the Mike King here. This is part of the Mike King Biz Radio and Media Network, ESPN Richmond 106.1, 5 to 7 a.m. International Business Coach Radio, Saturdays 10 a.m. in the East, CW Richmond every Wednesday and Friday 5 a.m. That is called Mike King Biz and Friends. But when I'm talking TV and I'm talking social media, I'm talking media. I got the one and only Natalie Hodge here with me. Natalie, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Mike. Appreciate you.
Oh, okay. So what am I doing? I'm not just in studio by myself. I'm a good friend, Kennedy Spurlock here. Welcome.
Hi,
Okay, really quickly, Kennedy, can you tell people who you are and what you do?
I'm Kennedy Spurlock, and I'm in a program called Bells and Bows. I'm sorry, Bells and Bows, and trying to sell ads for because we sell ads to raise money for high school seniors for college scholarships.
There you go. Alrighty. So the lady behind us is Kennedy's mom, Dr. Tab. Welcome to the program.
Hello, thank you.
Alrighty, so tell folks who you are and what you do.
I am an educator, inspirational speaker, author, and I help women through my entrepreneurship bounce back from life setbacks like a boss.
One of the favorite, go ahead and do the little AKA thing.
Yes, I am a member
A proud
member, yes, almost 21 years of the Oops on Omega chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha. But the reason why AKA is important today is because Kennedy is participating in the Rho Eta Omega chapter's Bells and Bows project. So this is an initiative through Alpha Kappa Alpha through one of our local chapters.
There you go. Natalie Hodge, welcome to the program, ma'am.
Thank you.
It's your time to shine. Tell us who you are and what you do.
I'm Natalie Hodge. I am the owner of Rudy's Girl Media, which is based in Martinsville, Virginia. It's my hometown. And we have this amazing show that will be premiering on April 4th at 7 p.m. on the Rudy's Girl Media YouTube channel. It is called Hometown Hustle. And we're in season 2. We're so excited. Season 1 was really an experimental pilot season where we filmed 6 10-minute episodes of entrepreneurs in Martinsville, Henry County, who were surviving the pandemic, who had creative solutions to problems in entrepreneurship. And we utilized the platform as a way to expose people to small businesses in small towns that make a big impact. And because of the incredible work that was done on season 1, we had some great sponsors like Rise Collaborative, Martinsville Henry County Economic Development Group, Hooker Furnishings, the Lester Group, Brunswick Economic Development, the River District Association in Danville. They all came together amongst 30 plus other sponsors to make season 2 a broader footprint that stretched from Patrick County, Virginia, all the way to Brunswick and up to Prince Edward. So we cover 11 different communities, 20 entrepreneurs, all different types of businesses, all different types of business owners. An amazing season. You have to check it out.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got Natalie Hodge. We got Dr. Tabbas here. We have Kennedy Spurlock is with us as well. Alrighty, so Natalie, last season, I saw you were dancing with the ballet class.
Right.
You were doing that. I saw you were working in a bookstore.
I did work in a bookstore, yes.
You were struggling in a bookstore when the person was asking where a certain book was.
And that was real. I really could not find that book, so.
Okay, so now I see you. Are you on a tractor or a backhoe or something?
Both. So one of our businesses is Browntown Farms, which is in Brunswick County. And so I navigate a tractor in that episode. We also go to Rocky Branch Construction, which is in Mecklenburg County, and I'm on a backhoe there. And, my hoeing skills are par excellent. He was trying to recruit me to move to Mecklenburg County so I could work with the team. I do a number of different activities to really showcase the depth of what our entrepreneurs are doing, how these spaces are unique and interesting and oftentimes challenging, actually.
So a lot of times when people look at hustle, when I look at this, looks like the hustle with LeBron James, that whole aspect. And Kennedy here, I asked her about starting a business. Oh, so let Natalie know what kind of business that you have as well.
Me and my best friend have a business called Beaded by KJ, and we sell bracelets, candy, pop sockets, and snacks.
So Natalie Hodge, that is the start of, she's out there bootstrapping a business like, but you know what? The bank is sitting right behind her, but she says, no, we do our own thing. We, they reinvest the money. Talk a lot about, to them about how important that is with you bootstrapping and making things happen. And then you won the award. I saw you standing with that big check.
Yes, yes. So I was the 2022 Gauntlet grand prize winner. There were co-winners for this cycle, both of us Natalie's, so special name.
That was crazy.
I know, crazy. And that business pitch competition is the largest in Virginia. It's sponsored by the Advancement Foundation. And what an incredible experience that was. I highly recommend that entrepreneurs of all ages and phases of business to look at local programs that are entrepreneurship training programs. And they even have youth programs in our communities too. So Kennedy, just keep an eye out for those opportunities. They really help you to pick apart your business and better understand your capacity, areas of opportunity, things that you might need to work on as a business owner. I'm so excited for you, Kennedy, that you have started this business. I grew up in an entrepreneurial family. I sat with my father, who owned a convenience store when I was growing up, and that was a very impactful part of my journey. It opened me up to entrepreneurship. I always knew that I was going to be a business owner from that experience. I just knew also I wasn't going to open a convenience store. But the experiences that I had with him were important life experiences. And I've taken those moments with me at every phase of what I've done, whether it be in small business ownership or working in traditional job roles.
Thank you for sharing that, because my husband and I have been entrepreneurs for a decade or so, and I'm a former business teacher. And it's challenging as a parent, I'll just be honest, because I don't want to have my business teacher hat on at home. But we know with the experiences that we've afforded her that she's picked up some of those entrepreneurial skills. And it's like, different phases where the interest is there, but then you want to make it a legitimate business. And so we're in between, because I don't want it to feel forced. I want it to be something that she wants to do. And I thank you for sharing your personal family experience, because I know in time we'll get to where we need to be, but I want to, kind of follow her lead with things and not have it feel forced, because that's my background in the space that we're in and the exposure that she has in the home.
Yeah, absolutely. It's about being a guide. And not steering, but like you said, allowing her to direct the experience. So my dad never said, you should be a business owner or you should take over the store. He never had that dream for me. He just wanted me to be happy. And so when I was there working with him, I just started to pick up things. And this is one of my favorite stories about how his messages seeped into my life. So he had me stocking a lot. And so we get merchandise in and I would put it on the shelves. So one day some Beanie Weenies came in. So I'm putting these Beanie Weenies on the shelf and he's like, oh, no. You put too many out there. So I took some down. He's like, oh, no, that's not enough. So then he went and he had a system. And so he shared with me that if you put too many out there, then people will come in and think that they're not selling. If you put too few out there, people will believe that you don't have enough money to buy inventory. So there's a right amount to fill out the space without it being overwhelming. Fast forward years later, when I wrote my first book, there was an opening party for the book. And so I arrived a little bit later after setup had already begun. and someone had set up all the books that I had. And I was like, no, no, no. We can't have all the books out there
Yes.
because it will be too much inventory.
Mhm.
And so I went and I reset everything. And he had already transitioned at that point. But I was like, Dad, you are with me. I have used this Beanie Weenie model
Yes.
in my space. And I love that he lives on through this business, although he knew nothing about media production at all.
That
But he's
another one
here.
is when you look at that, so I'm gonna talk to the ladies here. So Dr. Tab, how do you know when you have something? You taught business, and so Kennedy is coming to you. Remember, we had a conversation. How do you know when you got something? A lot of people have an idea. How do they make it come to reality?
Just go forth and produce the products. Like they started making the bracelets and just exposing it and sharing with others. Sometimes people feel like they're protecting their ideas by keeping them to themselves. But if you don't talk about your business, if you don't talk about your vision, what you have going on, people won't know how to support. And that's a part of the reason why we're here, because we met when I launched, co-authored a book last year with a mutual friend. But with the Bells and Bows project, she did a video, but she did it in her own timing. I wanted her to do the video during winter break after we got her binder, but she did it 2 months later. So I waited when she was ready. That's when we recorded the little promo, and she did a Facebook post. You saw it. And that's what led to our conversation with us being here today. So it's just sharing with others what it is you have going on, what you would like to do, and not being afraid of it not coming to fruition.
Right.
When did you know it was time to do the video? Mom wanted you to do it. It wasn't the right time?
Well, I just didn't really feel like doing it. So.
Okay. Yeah. It's a timing thing. Didn't feel like doing it. But when did you know it was time?
I didn't really know. I just didn't feel like doing it.
And now all of a sudden you did it. And when did you know it was good?
I didn't really know.
You didn't know?
I know. It was after the budgeting workshop. So in the beginning, she didn't know what to expect. And I saw, you mentioned different programs that kids can get into. And so I realized as a mom, instead of trying to, beat her over the head with the business skills that I'm teaching, used to teach my students during the day, I will just expose her to different opportunities. I'm a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha. A fellow chapter has a program that fits her age group. She can develop those skills that she mentioned to you early on. So I'm going to position her in those spaces that I've, been in for years, and let her go forth with the opportunity. So in the beginning, she had to meet new friends. She knew a couple of the girls that were in the program. But I think by the third activity, she kind of got in a rhythm and a groove. And it was that budgeting activity that shifted things for her, because her conversation with me changed. On the way home from the activity, there was a lot of chatter. Oh, well, let me tell you what this person said. I'm like, oh, I got her now, because she started meeting friends. And then also, so we did the video after that. But then we were talking about the timeline when the ads came about, and the culminating event is early June. So she said, Mom, after the big event, will I still see my friends? And I was like, oh, okay. So her friends matter, these new relationships that she's starting to form. And I said, okay, well, yes, you can. I'll have to connect with the moms, make sure I have their contact information. But that was an aspect that was important. And she mentioned to you social skills. So she's a social butterfly, and that lets me know she's having fun. And she's 11. I don't want her to have that stress that I had as a child, as the oldest of three. I want her to enjoy the experience, learn those skills as she can, and go forth and be great in whatever.
So Natalie Hodge, Mom said she's a social butterfly. You interviewed a social butterfly down your way, didn't you?
That's right. Yes. Jalen Draper is the owner of Social Butterfly Marketing. And yes, and so her business actually expanded and moved to Miami following the airing of the season. Yeah, absolutely. She is an amazing social media marketer, website designer, just all around social media guru. So,
So really quickly, you knocked out season 1, and
yes,
you really didn't know what to expect. We had the conversation. I remember. You remember the first time I saw you? I was like, "Whoa! I never seen anything like you." And I start pounding on people's door, like boom, boom, boom. What you're doing there, I think is outstanding. So now you go into season 2. What's different going into season 2 compared? Maybe let's talk on a financial side, the stability, because Natalie Hodge ain't sneaking up on anybody anymore.
Oh, right. So season 1 was on a dime. I would say season 2 was on a quarter. It was so it was an expanded season, and we definitely had some great sponsors, and I'm so appreciative of those sponsors. We still did it on a micro budget for what we did. So these are 10 22-minute episodes. Each episode features 2 entrepreneurs, so we toggle between stories. This means that we were traveling. This means that we had longer film days. It also means that we collected a lot of content. So in that, the post-production process has been greatly extended from season 1. We just touched a lot of people's lives through the process. So it's a much bigger project, and it's poised for distribution on another platform in addition to YouTube. And so that was the goal, was to really get it out there so somebody can, put a ring on it, so to speak, and get it out to some markets that we haven't been able to touch yet.
So, Natalie, you are a master marketer. You're out there hustling. I see you. Kennedy said she's good with the talking too, right? Okay, so give her the sales pitch that we talked about for your bells and bows. No, you don't need the book.
No.
Just go ahead and talk. You don't use the book in school. Tell people about it.
There's different ads that you can purchase. There's $100 for a full package ad, $75 for a core package ad, 20. Oh no, that's a half package ad. $50 for a quarter package ad, and then $25 for a business card.
And so she has that, started selling candy. Now that's the thing from the convenience store. And I asked her, how did you go over to the candy part and explain to her what you did?
Well, we just kind of merged the bracelets and the candy and the snacks together, because people like bracelets and then people like candy and like to eat during class. And like when they're doing their work.
Natalie, explain to Kennedy and folks out there when you're doing a budgeting aspect, because her bracelets sell for how much?
These ones sell for $4, these sell for $5, Evil Eye sell for $2, and then we have a couple other just.
And where do you get your products from again?
Shein.
So yeah, Natalie, she gets her stuff from Shein. I'm the oldest man in the world for sure, because I just heard of Shein a couple of days ago. When you looked at working and scaling your business from season 1 to season 2, how do you go about doing that and what it takes? And let's talk about the financial part.
Oh, yes. So it starts with the money. It starts with having an understanding of what your hard costs are. And those hard costs are, your equipment, anything that's absolutely necessary for the production. And then you roll into additional things that you might need. So in my first budget, I had someone for hair and makeup. In my final budget, I was hair and makeup.
Yes.
And so you have to have an understanding of what are the things that are necessary and what are the things that if you don't get, the big money or even the medium money, how do you make it happen and how do you push the project forward? And what is the point at which you say, I don't have the resources to move forward with the business? And that's just as important as knowing when you're going to push the button to go.
So how do you let people know about what you have going out there? Because you're very good at that. And we talked to Kennedy about letting people know. Like me, look at you. I see, we wear a name on everything. You are not, when people see me without my name, they're like, what happened? But so talk a little bit about scaling things and letting people know about Rudy's Girl Media.
So you are your brand. And I think a lot of people, especially when we're talking about social media, they want to separate their personal lives and their personal posts from their business lives and posts. And that really does not happen for a small business owner. You are who you are at all times. And so you want to step out of your door representing your business, to the highest. So I talk about it at all points in times. I've reached out to people who owe me money to say, you know, don't worry about that $20. Just watch the show, just share the show. I go hard for this because this is who I am. This is what I'm passionate about. And I count it as a huge blessing to be living on purpose. So this business is who I am. And when you can identify that, that's a gift.
There you go. See, that's why I got this show for people like you. I'm telling you, what you're doing out there is really cool. It's amazing. It's letting people know. And really quickly, so how can people find the show once again?
So it's on the Rudy's Girl Media YouTube page. And we're airing shows Tuesdays and Thursdays at 7 p.m. Of course, on YouTube, you can watch it at any point. But if you join Tuesdays and Thursdays at 7, then you're able to live chat with us as we're watching it together. And we're doing a 6:45 Facebook Live kickoff every Tuesday and Thursday when the season airs, just to give people the opportunity to ask questions, to engage with us before we head over to the YouTube channel.
There you go.
Cool.
She is here, Natalie Hodge. Thank you for joining us. It is always a pleasure. Yeah, shoot me the information to come to Brunswick because that'll be pretty cool. Shout out to our good friend Alfredo Reynolds down there in Brunswick. A
Yes.
sponsor of On the Mic with Mike. That's our connection. So, congratulations on all you're doing out there. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much. And Kennedy, send me the information for a sponsorship. I would love to be a sponsor for your project.
There
Okay.
you go. Appreciate it. Hey, thanks. I'll take care.
Thank you.